I then just literally start to imbue the brand. My office at home is painted the Pizza Express blue of restaurants.
So almost the Daniel Day-Lewis.
They look at me like she's incredibly woo-woo.
How does one go from flogging fried chicken to flogging pizzas?
But this is the ultimate question. I learned this from coaching, so I'm going to save you £10,000 worth of therapy at this point. It's just unbelievable to me that the Labour Party, clues on the title, has taken such a harsh stance around businesses that employ people.
Pizza Express was in the news for all the wrong reasons, getting fined by the government for not paying some staff the minimum wage. It's rather unacceptable, isn't it? Prince Andrew and what happened in 2019. Pizza Express woking absolutely everywhere, getting slated. How do you attempt to repair a company's reputation when they've been hit by a PR storm that's absolutely not of their making at all?
I do love that you've dug up every Pizza Express story.
The PR in the corner is sweating, I think. Hello and welcome to another edition of City AM's Boardroom Uncovered with me, John Robinson. My guest for this episode is Paula MacKenzie, the CEO of Pizza Express. MacKenzie started out at EY before taking on roles at Diageo, GSK and Innocent Drinks, before leading KFC in the UK. Since joining Pizza Express in 2022, she's been attempting to turn around the chain, which has had its fair share of troubles. So, can this high street icon return to the heights of the past while battling the harsh economic challenges the restaurant industry faces? Without any further delay, let's dive in. Well, Paula, thank you very much for coming on Boardroom Uncovered. It's great to have you here.
It's great to be here. You're welcome.
I suppose the first question, the point I have to start with is this. What on earth is the profit markup on the dough balls?
That's outrageous. What a question. God, how much do you love a dough ball?
Love a dough ball.
Right. They're just such a crowd pleaser. It's one of the joys of this job. Wherever I go, people invariably have a dough ball based question. Of course, that's, trade secret.
Oh, come on.
No, totally trade secret. But fun fact for you, we make our own dough balls. I mean, we make our own dough. So we have our own factory up in Oxfordshire, our bakery, no less. And that's where everything comes from. And all dough balls are produced in every single restaurant every single day.
The person who came up with that as a menu item
is genius.
It's absolute genius, because you're just printing money, surely.
It's not quite like that, but our food and drink team will be delighted. And another fun fact for you, we now have a whole dough balls menu, essentially. There is so much innovation to be had from the humble dough ball.
With all the condiments and things on the side.
Well, so like at Christmas, you'll be able to have snowball dough balls, if you can say that. See, I just said it.
Snowball dough balls.
Snowball dough balls. And we even have a snowball dough ball bauble. I've made you laugh.
Say that 10 times fast.
Snowball dough ball bauble. So yeah, they are iconic for Pizza Express, right? And it is the gift that keeps on giving. You're right. But that's because they're so Moorish, right? And okay, the plain dough ball you eat with garlic butter, but don't forget, like our pizzerias are hand crushing garlic into butter every morning. And the sweet variety that has like a white crema dip and a salted caramel dip, and you can even have them in the shape of a Christmas tree. And so it goes
hungry
on.
Now.
I know. I'm going to make me drool.
Yeah. What is your Pizza Express order? Do you have a go-to whenever you go and
I do
inspect the restaurants?
Well, if you're genuinely doing a food test, you should order a margarita, because the plainer the pizza. No, genuinely, I love that everyone's laughing. No, you're looking for certain things, and if you eat a margarita, you can really taste the quality of the cheese, the quality of the passata, the quality of the dough, and you should lift up your base. So let's just say it's a classic or a Roman, actually, and the underneath should look like a leopard. So it should just be that nice mix of kind of light and dark spots. That's what you're looking for, is a leopard base.
Oh, there we go. You learn something new every day.
But I'm not a margarita eater, really. My 16-year-old self was a Lorraine lover. So like ham, mushroom, olives, obviously. And I would say the not 16-year-old Paula is a Padana lover. She always has been.
Okay. And do you have an idea of who the typical Pizza Express diner is? Because for me, it's like first restaurant that maybe you go to, you've got a little bit of money when you're younger and you've graduated maybe from Nando's and you're going up to that next level, and that's Pizza Express.
Oh, that's so funny. The truth of it is, it's everyone, yeah? And I don't want to be like, oh, it's everyone from, birth to 100 type thing, but a quarter of the UK population of adults will eat in a Pizza Express every year. When you actually think about that, a quarter of all adults, so that's like all age groups. Yes, we've done the thing which is, segment our consumer base, our customer base into, there's 6 archetypes, honestly, and we've got like pen portrait names for each of them. And families predominantly are the mainstay. But what we find is even once kids are like, there's the empty nesters, they've left home, or even they're multi-generational eating like grandparents. And we've got a pen portrait name for her. She's called Michelle. We're popular with all of the groups, yeah. And then I still get, I get 2-year-olds who, they love garlic butter and dough balls, just like we were saying. And I have 92-year-olds who want to spend their birthday with us. But like you say, there's a lot of like first dates at Pizza Express. There's a lot of proposals. There's a lot of marriages. It goes all the way through, honestly.
Absolutely. You've been in the job since 2022.
I have. Not long, really.
Not long, relatively speaking. What attracted you to running Pizza Express?
Oh, gosh, it's a brand I have always loved. So 16-year-old Paula loved Pizza Express. She was at boarding school. This is the honest truth. And it can be quite a lonely place being at boarding school. And I remember thinking Pizza Express just as the place that I felt really kind of safe, and I loved it. And there was something about the marble tabletop and the way the pizza was served and the crystal glass. So she obviously had a taste for nicer things, but also food that she just really enjoyed. And I always asked my parents to take me there. And all of those memories combined was when someone then knocked on my door in 2021 and said, Paula, they'd really like you to run Pizza Express. There was something in me was like, goodness, that's a brand that I really reckon I can do something with. So
you got headhunted?
I did.
That's got to do something for the ego, hasn't it?
I don't I don't look at it like that. They've got to ask someone, right?
I guess so, but you could just apply.
For sure. Actually, recently we did this really fun thing called Who Would Like to Be Our CEO?
CEO.
I know, it's good, right? Yeah, so we've had a lot of applications for that. And Fred was the winner, so congratulations, Fred. But no, someone comes asking, right, based on your experience. And
that top level, you're not applying on LinkedIn.
No, you're really not. No.
This is just a completely different world.
Yes, and I guess it's based on, of course, it has to be on your experiences and what you've done.
And that experience, of course, was partly running KFC.
Well, that's right.
In the UK.
Yes.
How does one go from flogging fried chicken to flogging pizzas?
I mean, that's your words, not mine, all right? I worked for Yum Brands for 11 years. I ran KFC UK and Ireland for 5. It is a phenomenal company and a phenomenal brand. And you can see it in my career and my history and back to my, drinks days. I started off life at Diageo. I was at GlaxoSmithKline with Ribena, Horlicks, Lucozade. I was at Innocent Smoothies. Then I forayed into food, etc., etc. And I have just loved brands, building brands, love food and drink. It's something that you can always talk to anyone about, like literally anyone. And so I had this phenomenal run of things, including running the UK business at KFC. And I'd done that then for 5 years. So of course you can go again for year 6, year 7, etc. But I'm the kind of person, and just in that story actually about boarding school, you'll see it repeating patterns. I'd done 5 years at a girls' comprehensive school, and then I switched it up because I was bored. And it's the kind of same thing, at KFC, I'd done that GM, the general manager role for 5 years. And I was like, I can go again. But at the same time, someone came knocking with an opportunity. So that's that story.
Yeah, I suppose if you've got that opportunity that's piqued your interest, it's difficult to turn that down when you've been doing that job for 5 years or so. And leading KFC in the UK and Ireland, do you get given the secret to the 11 herbs and spices?
Again, I was asked this question a lot back in the day. You don't, actually.
You don't?
You know more than the average person. It is kept under lock and key in a briefcase. It's called S-Blend. You get quite close, but no, there's only about 2 or 3 people in the whole of KFC that know the secret S-Blend.
It's mixed herbs from Tesco, isn't it?
I'm not even commenting for all the right reasons.
I'm going to say it is.
Okay.
I'm going to say it is. Pizza Express is one of those iconic brands. You see it up and down the country. When taking on a job leading a company like that, does that weigh on you, the responsibility?
I guess it does, but I don't overthink it, if that makes sense. I gravitate to and I'm drawn to brands and businesses that I truly love. So just like I told you about going for a Pizza Express when I was 16, and that was just true of my whole life. The authentic me also, drunk Innocent Smoothies, went for a KFC fillet burger. There's just a truism to the choice of roles that I want to do. Pizza Express has such a relevance for customers for their whole lives. I was just like, let's just show this thing in its full glory. That's what I felt like it wasn't doing its best job of. Let's just see what we can do to shine a light on that. And then you said the responsibility and iconic, does it weigh heavy? I don't overthink it. And then I think I'm a bit like an immersive actor. I have to just absolutely immerse myself in the brand. You have to go back through its archives, through its heritage, through its history. And there's so much richness to that at Pizza Express. You can even see I'm wearing all blue today.
Very on brand.
I then just literally start to imbue the brand. My office at home is painted the Pizza Express blue of restaurants, etc., etc. Because it helps me really feel it in a kind of rich way.
So almost the Daniel Day-Lewis.
You look at me like she's incredibly woo-woo.
No, not at all. But I was going to say...
It's the Daniel Day-Lewis.
The Daniel Day-Lewis of CEOs.
Slightly. I think you have to be. You have to be obsessed with your brand and business more than anyone else that walks this planet.
Interesting. It's time for some quick fire questions now, Paula. Are you ready?
Yeah, go for it.
What was your first job?
Oh, crikey. Actually, a paper round.
So was mine.
Okay.
I didn't like the Fridays because it was the local paper day.
That's
the
right.
bag doubled.
That's exactly all of that.
Horrible.
They were quite heavy, and
Yes.
there were certain dogs in certain houses, and it was all a bit...
Yeah, horror stories.
This is like PTSD.
I know. Who inspires you?
Oh, gosh, so many people. I love that sense that you're the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with most. So I hang out with some really, really talented people at work, on our board, on other boards I sit on. I go to restaurants and I get inspired by the leadership that are different people. So yesterday, I think we said this just earlier, like I was in Worthing and Arundel, 2 cracking managers, 2 totally different. Poppy in Arundel, who's about 24, and seeing her flourish as running, a multi-million-pound business ultimately, and then Mike in Worthing with 20 plus years experience, man and boy, Pizza Express. I don't know. These leaders are really inspiring. We've all just got different train sets. So, I get inspired all around me.
If you had to appoint a celebrity to your board, who would it be and why?
Oh, I love that. It would have to be someone who'd made me laugh, I think. Oh, gosh, I actually haven't thought. Who?
So a comedian, maybe?
Yeah, a comedian. But Stephen Fry or somebody, with brains on them as well.
Yeah, Stephen Fry would be a good one.
Yes, just because keeping it fresh and mixing up and bringing humour is what you need,
Maybe he's a Pizza Express fan as well, would you?
Well, there's all sorts of people who are Pizza Express fans. Yeah. Marcus Waring including, etc., etc., etc.
What's the best thing about your job?
The best bit about my job. You get to make it up, if that makes sense. So you've got a mandate, you've got a mission about what you have to do, but ultimately what you think is important is what the organisation will do. That's the ultimate test of how good you are, right? It really is, right? You kind of like make or break, do or die by your actions. And if you're frustrated with something or something's not going as you would want it to, you've got no one else to look at other than yourself and go, all right, what have I done that's made it that way? Or what conditions of success haven't I set? So I think it's brutally and honestly the most challenge you can set yourself. It's like trying to scale Everest, and you've got to do it with 10,000 people or whatever.
And dough balls. Yeah.
And dough balls and what's in your rucksack, including, your products. But that's a very serious point, which is, I chose to lead Pizza Express because it's one of those few brands. It has that you can name check what pizza it is you would eat in a Pizza Express. Now, there are other brands that have that for sure. But there's many brands that don't have that. And if you've got that, you were making fun that it was like money in the bank, but it's at least it's something. It's a brand equity to build on, and not all jobs and not all brands would have that. So very deliberate choice.
Let's talk about the challenges that the hospitality industry has faced in the UK. It feels like it's been unrelenting for the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Now it must be incredibly challenging.
It has been really difficult, hasn't it? And I never wallow. You can probably hear it from the kind of person I am. I just don't wallow in that at all. And of course, I joined Pizza Express summer of 22. But of course, the sector had been really, and I'm not going to use exaggerated language, but somewhat decimated by COVID as well. At least the QSR, the quick service restaurant industry, got open. But casual dining and, hospitality at large was really shuttered a lot by that. And then candidly, I studied economics at university, so I feel like an economist by training. It's just unbelievable to me that the Labour Party, clues on the title, has taken such a harsh stance around businesses that employ people at large and people at scale. And a paper round was my first job, but my first job when I was then 16 or so was bar work, like a lot of people's first job, restaurants, waitering, waitressing, etc. And to be almost taxed through the NIC contributions and everything else, it's just really hard when actually most people's first foray into employment is in some kind of hospitality venue.
I was going to ask about the 2024 budget because that raised taxes across the board for
that was brutal for us, candidly, as it was for everyone in the sector, and unexpected. And I'm not saying anything that anyone else in the sector wouldn't say. It really was tough. But again, it makes you stronger. Tough times, this is why I just level for it. I don't really wallow in the, is it tough? Great businesses, and it's that famous quote, tough businesses get stronger, or, tough times make people. We will get stronger, and we have got stronger. And you see that play out in the press.
What have you had to do to mitigate those increases in taxes?
You really try and focus about what the customer values. So for me, it starts with food and taste. And I'm just that kind of leader. I will never sacrifice on the quality of the food. It's just not in my DNA. So you don't see us do shrinkflation or anything like that. But you will have seen, and it's widely reported, that prices have to rise to cover the cost inputs that one has, whether that's the food, whether that's the people, whether it's the rent, the rates, all of those things. We just candidly try and make sure that we're charging a fair price for the thing that you're getting and that customer still feels that's value for money. And we track our value for money scores maniacally. But those are the kind of things you are trying to take out cost where it doesn't do anything, be more efficient and put the things that the customer values in front of them.
There's so much competition these days, not just chains as big as Pizza Express, but independent places as well.
That's right.
But then the cost of living is going up. People are going out for dinner less. It's costing more to go out for dinner. So people are making those choices really specifically about where to go. How do you attract somebody how do you persuade a family or a couple to choose Pizza Express instead of to going somewhere else when everybody's costs are going up and they're going to be footed with a huge bill afterwards?
It's not necessarily a huge bill, candidly. Like there's a value equation of what is it worth to you, and we obsess about what is the overall bill and we monitor that incredibly. Actually, when you see grocery prices going up as well, and you know that you're going to have to cook that meal or whatever at home, and what is it reasonable to pay for someone to do that and serve you and delight you and have a lovely maybe moment with a family, a friend, etc., etc. We think we're priced really competitively for that. And you see that us able to offer really great offers, promotions, rewards. We have the industry-leading loyalty app, so the Pizza Express Club. We have nearly 4 million people. When you actually think about that, that's huge. And it's because we started so long ago. So we have the Pizza Express Club, and within that, we're able to offer people offers and then make that bill at the end not as shocking as you may think, if that makes sense.
You said that prices have had to go up.
They have, yeah.
Are you expecting prices to continue to rise?
What I've learned on these things is to stay with consumer expectation and not go crazy. But if you hold it back too far, then your input costs are just coming up and you've got nowhere to go. So yes, they have to go up, but I hope just a little bit. Again, we're quite good at managing our inflationary cost inputs side of it. But yes, things haven't been as bad as they were 2022 to 23, etc.
I'm sure. I suppose all eyes at the moment are on the budget. So this is coming out just a few days before the budget.
Indeed.
Do you have a wish list? I appreciate, by this time people are watching this, listening to this, your homework is going to be marked pretty damn quickly.
Is.
But do you have a wish list that you'd like Rachel Reeves to focus on?
For all the right reasons, I'm not going to comment too much. I just hope that, all the council, that very great organisations like the British Retail Consortium, like UK Hospitality, have lent in to say, look, enough's enough when it comes to sectors that employ a lot of people. I really hope she's listened to that.
Because a lot of people have said that tax rises are inevitable. I feel that guests on the show over the last year have said that the tax rises in the 2024 budget has just massively hit them. You just said they've battered Pizza Express. Is there a part of you that's worried that there's going to be even more tax rises for businesses?
Yes, I don't think I said battered Pizza Express, but they've been tough. Look, I think she may well do tough things again, yeah? We all then are in the same boat, though. We all have to roll with it. I'm just hoping here, this is like having a crystal ball, isn't it? We're sitting here recording this before, that she takes heed to some of that. Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, okay. Very diplomatically answered there. The PR in the corner is sweating, I think. Let's talk about pay. Pizza Express was in the news for all the wrong reasons in the last few days as we're recording, getting fined by the government for not paying some staff the minimum wage. It's rather unacceptable, isn't it?
So this was years ago, just to put it into perspective.
Yeah, please do.
Absolutely years ago. And actually before my time too, not to just...
Of course.
So, and I think there was hundreds of businesses, literally.
Yes. And very well known. It's not just Pizza Express.
Hundreds of businesses.
The eccentric of the owner. Gas was one of them. Holland and Barrett. There's high street names.
Yes. For real technicalities around nuances to do with whether it's uniform or changing times or any of these things. It's really not the place to go into detail. That was sorted the moment they became apparent and all those individuals were made good. So I think this is just a good lesson. If I just hover up to 50,000 foot for everyone, it's a good lesson in the government really needs to make sure that it's legislation and it's, in the micro is super clear. Because there's no way hundreds of businesses are trying to do the wrong thing. We're absolutely not. We're completely wedded to doing the right thing.
You're in the spotlight.
Oh, 100%. When you're the category lead, you're always in the spotlight. So we were speaking about that almost half an hour ago. But genuinely good, reputable businesses are always trying to do the right thing. It's just not in our interest to do anything but. So actually that everyone fell foul of these kind of minutiae, it just shows you it wasn't clear. We all thought we were doing the right thing. And then the moment it became apparent we're not doing the right thing, right, well, we make it good.
Yeah.
So I've got genuinely nothing more to say on it than that's kind of what happens. But that's why the team really try and get so close to the government or these bodies to try and make sure that on new legislation, let's take new one at the moment, HFSS, high fat, salt, sugar, is everyone super clear because the government isn't making it as clear as they could sometimes. And none of us are trying to fall foul of anything.
Yes, you're not trying to hide anything. I
Not
suppose
at all.
would be your argument. Yeah, you're too in the spotlight
That's
to
right.
try and put something under the rug and don't pay these
100%.
guys. Okay, interesting. I wanted to touch on this point as well. Everybody knows Pizza Express. We talked about this during the interview. Sometimes a company, any company, will be in the news for negative reasons for nothing to do with them. It's not their fault. They've not done anything bad. They're just in the news. I mention this because of Prince Andrew and what happened in 2019. Pizza Express woking absolutely everywhere, getting slated. Nothing to do with Pizza Express. You haven't done anything wrong. I'm not trying to say that that's the case. My question is this. How do you, and you weren't there at the time, I appreciate that as well. How do you attempt to repair a company's reputation when they've been hit by a PR storm that's absolutely not of their making at all?
Yeah. I do love that you've dug up every Pizza Express story. Let me go again to 50,000 foot. You can't legislate or kind of mandate for anything that anyone is going to say. Yeah. It is freedom of speech and people can say anything on any brand. Yeah. So it is best just to rise above it, candidly, and then just go, this stuff happens. It's like weather, yeah? Like there's storms and there's sunshine periods and there's stormy periods, and just rise above it. We are Pizza Express. We have been here since 1965. I hope we will be here in 2065. And sometimes people say things, and you just have to roll with it. So that is what it is, really.
Yeah. It's sometimes companies are in the news because they've done something wrong and they're being held to account. It must be difficult. I couldn't imagine being in any business that's in the news and they've got nothing to do with this. It must be such a stressful period, and you think, oh no, what have we, how are we going to get out of this?
It's not actually after a while, just because these things happen. I think you have to expect that in any 365 days a year, decades, things happen. Yeah,
I'd panic. I think that's probably why I'm not running a business.
The responsibility of it. Yeah, I think when you lead industry leading brands. And I've run, many. You're in the pop culture. You're in the public vernacular. You're top of mind of what people say. Yeah. I'll be sitting on a train and somebody will say something about Pizza Express and I take my headphones off because I'm like, oh, what are they saying?
Yes.
So it's just, we're a household name. So these things happen.
Okay. Final question, Paula. I like to end the interview on this. What does it take, in your opinion, to be a good CEO?
Well, you have to love what you do. I mean, it absolutely underpins and starts with that. And I think you have to be curious. That's the number one quality, I would say, of a great CEO. It's just always curious. And that's curious for what your customers want, what they're telling you, what people in your business are up to. Are you interested in them as humans? Are you interested in how something ticks? What makes it work? What makes it doesn't work? All of that. Like if you're innately curious and you like fixing things and putting things together and growing things, but I think that stems from curiosity, you'll be a great CEO.
Brilliant. Paula, thank you very much for coming on Boardroom Covered.
You're welcome.